Go ahead, buddy. It's Unfiltered Wrestling. Monday Night Raw. I think we're actually moving in a good direction here. The show wasn't outstanding. It wasn't something I'm going to remember forever, but it did what it needed to do. It sold me on WrestleMania. Don't think about Elimination Chamber. Who cares? Who cares? Like, literally, it's 1 week away from what pay-per-view we just had. No one cares about Elimination Chamber. Hopefully it's entertaining. But they are selling me on WrestleMania. It's working. It really is. But first, let's just talk about the main event. Randy Orton and Beth Phoenix. Yeah. Beth Phoenix came out to talk about her husband Edge and give a medical update. We knew what was going to happen. Come on. We all knew what was going to happen. Orton comes out, interrupts her, and Orton finally gave a reason to why he attacked Edge a month and a half ago. I didn't even think he needed to give a reason, honestly. My personal opinion, I didn't think he needed to give a reason. Like, if you've watched wrestling for that long and you knew their history, you kind of could put two and two together. But they did come up with something, and it was different. It was because he was protecting Edge. I know. It kind of convoluted here, but he said it's because he's protecting Edge because he loves him so much that he took him out before someone else could seriously take him out. Like, for good. He took him out of the wrestling picture, I guess. Like, tried to force him back into retirement. So none of these other young future Randy Ortons could, like, seriously injure him so he couldn't be a good father or husband. It feels like a reach, but I think it's good enough. I'm okay with it. And it's a little different. It makes Randy seem even more like a psycho. Because that's kind of a psychotic way of thinking of things. It is. And then he ran Beth down a little bit by saying he loves Edge and their kids more than Beth Phoenix does. Thought that was kind of odd. Like, it felt kind of weird. But Beth slapped him. Orton pauses for a while. Good, nice, dramatic pause. You gotta love a dramatic pause. And then and we all knew what was gonna happen. Come on. We knew what was gonna happen. Even some of the crowd was saying RKO. She kicks him. Kicks him like in the stomach low. Somewhere low. And he RKOs her. Strong segment. I liked it. This feud's really looking good. Edge versus Randy Orton. I said it at Rumble, I hope they can save this to Mania. And it looks like they have. Sweet. I didn't want to see Edge in any match before WrestleMania. They pulled it off. Congratulations, guys. That was great. It's another strong match for WrestleMania. Now here, my only complaint about this segment was, am I supposed to feel bad for Beth Phoenix here? Because I didn't. And I don't think the Brooklyn crowd did. They had a couple stunned faces. They had like one or two. Kevin Dunn super zoomed in on. But for the most part, they were cheering. There were chants of RKO. And before he RKO'd her, there was even thank you Randy chants. WWE does this all the time. They push the narrative that Beth Phoenix, for example, a woman, can slap, punch, kick, do a damn move if she feels like to any guy. It's fine. Cheer. Everyone cheer. But if any guy retaliate in any way, boo. Like, come on now. How about just don't hit, like, a woman shouldn't hit a man if she doesn't want to get hit back, and vice versa. People shouldn't be hitting people. That's just what it is. In reality, people just shouldn't hit people. So in the world of wrestling, it's like she slapped him. He just trying his best to stay calm, it looked like. Took a couple deep breaths. And then before he could do anything again, she kicks him. What the hell are you doing? What are you doing? This is Randy Orton. Do you not expect it RKO'd? So I didn't feel bad for her. She struck him twice. It's like, what are you doing? A slap? Fine. Fine. Slap him. But you had to kick him too? That was stupid. Like, if this was reality, that was dumb. He's a lunatic. You slap him because he said dumb shit, fine. But then to kick him, of course he's going to RKO you. So, that was my only nitpick. Besides that, strong segment. And when you start to look at this WrestleMania card, I don't like the way they got here with the Fiend Goldberg situation, but the card looks stellar. It does. So far, what they've got looks crazy. Like, there's classic matchups all over this thing. Now, will they execute them? Probably not. Probably not. Most of these matches are probably going to suck. They'll probably be boring. Something like that. That's usually what happens. Long, drawn-out rest holds. But when you look at the card, it looks crazy. But let's get into the actual Raw show from the beginning. It starts off with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. I don't give a shit what you say about Brock Lesnar. When Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman kick off a Raw, it gives you special feelings. It makes you think like you're not wasting your time on watching this 3-hour epic. It does. They make it feel like a big deal. And this was a standard Paul Heyman talking about Drew McIntyre. Same shit we've heard for a few weeks now for the most part. Drew McIntyre comes out, and they let him. He's being put over Brock. This has been happening a lot. Drew claymores Brock twice. Once in the ring, and Brock sold the shit out of it. He sold that Claymore more than any move I think he's ever sold, except for maybe Goldberg's spear. Like, he sold the hell out of that. Then he walks up the ramp. Drew comes back out, claymores him again on the ramp. Crowd went nuts, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign, because Vince, kind of lately, he's been going with what crowds want. And they're getting behind Drew pretty strong. But I don't know, man. When we do our WrestleMania predictions, I'm leaning towards Brock retaining because they keep letting Drew go over him. In last year's Mania, all the title matches, the fan favorites went over. They won. I don't see him doing it twice in a row. And we know Roman's being Goldberg. That's just happening. I think Brock's going to retain. I think he's going to retain. But overall, this segment was pretty good. Drew McIntyre is looking better and better each week we see him. He's feeling more like a star. Every time he's in the same room as Brock or Paul, he feels like a main eventer. They need to find ways to get him. Even if Brock is taking a week off, they got to get him in the same room with Paul Heyman. It really rubs off on him well. Then we had the Raw Tag Team title match. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, or I guess Murphy now, versus the Street Profits. Coming into it, you wouldn't know for sure who would win. But then they said this is the last chance for the Street Profits to ever become the Raw Tag Champion. So if they didn't win this match, they were never getting another Raw Tag title match. Ears perked up, and obviously, I think we all knew that means the Street Profits are winning. Come on. What, they're just never going to go for a tag titles? And at some point, we all know Rollins and Murphy can't go into WrestleMania as tag team champions. That would just be lame looking. Like, Rollins and his Messiah gimmick should not be in the tag team division for very long. And they fixed that today with the Street Profits becoming your Raw Tag Team Champions. I'm all for it. The match never really got into like the climax portion. Never really felt like it got there like that. But it's okay. It's not a pay-per-view. No one's going to go back and rewatch it anyway. That's fine. It's a Raw match. But it did its job. It did its job. The AOP came down, kind of semi-distracted / interfered. While the ref was turned around, Kevin Owens came in, continuing the feud with Rollins, and stunned the dog shit out of him. I was all for it. Kevin Owens is the man. He's the man. He just is. He is. And we'll get into the WrestleMania predictions on a different video. But that's kind of a hard match to pick between Owens and Rollins. But yeah, he stunned him. Montez Ford hit him with the frog splash, which I don't know if they're calling from the heavens now, but Tom Phillips damn sure called it like that was the new name of it. It probably isn't. It's probably still just a frog splash, but from the heavens wouldn't be a bad name. Just throwing it out there. 1, 2, 3, new tag champions, and like when you have a Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens as like the 5th, 6th biggest match at WrestleMania, that's a strong WrestleMania card. Just saying. I'm not a WWE homer or something. I'm just true. That's strong if that's not even in your top 5 biggest matches. I think we had a weird thing here. The biggest down of the night. We had a 24/7 title match. Riddick Moss versus Ricochet. Fuck. This is just it. This is it. Ricochet's done. He's done. He's done. He's done. Done. When does his contract run out? I need to Google it. Like, seriously. Matt Hardy's free now. I expect him to be signed to AEW very soon. I hope he brings back the broken gimmick, and I hope it strives there. I think it probably would. I think Ricochet needs to go. This is a waste of his time. It's a waste of his time. Getting squashed by Brock was offensive enough to follow it up by kind of getting squashed by Riddick Moss for the 24/7 title, while the Brooklyn crowd chants, "Who are you?" to Riddick Moss. You basically got beat by an unknown jobber, easily, for the shittiest belt, the least prestigious title this company has seen in years. I feel bad for the guy. Ricochet's really good. He's really talented. And I want talent in WWE. I'm more of a WWE guy than any other company. But god damn. I don't think WWE is what's best for Ricochet. He didn't really get pushed hard in NXT. He's damn sure not getting pushed hard here. I think it's time to go. It's time to go. This was a disaster. It was a disaster. Like, I could talk about this and bitch about that for a cool, clean 15 minutes and just have a full-blown wrestle breakdown. But I'm trying to just move on for the moment. Just most of the night wasn't that bad. That was just by far the worst thing. They just buried Ricochet with a 24/7 title. Let me know down below if you have any reason, if you have any idea of why they would possibly do that. Because I'm lost. Next up, we had Aleister Black versus all of the OC, one by one, just to get to AJ Styles. He beats Carl Anderson. Luke Gallows beats him up until the ref DQs him. So Aleister technically beats Luke Gallows also. And then the Aleister Black AJ Styles match, AJ beats him up and wins. And like I said earlier, I like the card they're putting together at WrestleMania. AJ Styles versus Undertaker is huge. That's monumental. That's fantastic. But I'm not liking the way we're getting there. Undertaker had to bury him at that Saudi Arabian show. And then here, Aleister has to eat his first true defeat on the main roster just to try to put over an Undertaker match versus AJ. I think we could have got to the Undertaker AJ match without hurting Aleister. I don't think you had to hurt Aleister Black to get there. You know what I mean? You don't give someone their first fucking loss in a year and a half, 2 years, when they didn't need it. He didn't need to lose this. He didn't need to be in it. And now I guess they're rematching at Elimination Chamber, which, let's just guess what's happening there. One of two things is happening. One, AJ beats him again. Of course, with a lot of help from the club, hopefully, but still, beats him again. Or two, Aleister wins, but it's only because Undertaker interferes. That's it. That is it. And I'm hoping that one happens. Because Aleister can't lose twice to this man, or he might as well just be sitting right next to Ricochet in the unemployment line and waiting for AEW. Man had a 2-year fucking win streak, and you just shit all over it. I hate that. I hate that. I fucking hate when they build someone up. And they didn't even build him up well, but still, 2 years, or a year and a half, whatever it's been, him on the main roster, of him looking like a bad man, an unbeatable specimen, just to lose on a Raw match for no reason. I know a lot of stuff happened. The OC, blah, 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 his third match, cool. But he didn't have to eat the pinfall just so we can get to AJ Undertaker when that match was basically already clearly booked at Super Showdown. Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And then we had a Liv Morgan versus Ruby Riott match with Sarah Logan as a special guest referee. The whole goddamn Riott Squad. Interesting. That feels like something that they used to do on like pay-per-views. You know what I mean? 3 friends, 2 against each other, and 1 as the special guest referee. And this, the match was a kind of a yawner. Who cares? Who cares? Liv Morgan is still over. I'll give her that. The crowd still likes Liv Morgan. For the most part. There's some dry spots, but for the most part, they're still on her side. The best part was Sarah Logan and Ruby kind of got into it, and then Ruby got rolled up. Of course, we all know it was going to happen. Got rolled up. 1, 2, 3, quick count. Liv Morgan wins. Liv Morgan celebrates. But as she's celebrating, Sarah Logan does a running knee right to her face. So I don't know if Sarah Logan turned heel there, or if it's just pitting all 3 women against each other. I'm leaning towards that. Liv Morgan's clearly a face. Ruby Riott's clearly a heel. Sarah Logan, kind of like a tweener at the moment, until further notice. And I'm assuming they're going to be doing a triple threat match at some point. I'm okay with it. I'm alright. I just don't want them to team back up after this. No, let's move our separate ways. When the draft happens, split them up the best you can. Then we had Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. Good match. Yeah, good match. It was. The crowd chanted Ronda Rousey a few times. I'm assuming at Shayna Baszler. Match was good. It was good. But we all knew the outcome. Baszler wins. Tap out. Cool. What do you want me to say? That's kind of what we expect. But Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler, that looks like a great match. It does. On paper, it looks like a great match. I think the crowd will be invested in it at WrestleMania. That's what I mean. This card, that Mania card's gonna be crazy. Like even the women, not all the women. SmackDown's women division is in the dumpster burning somewhere. But Baszler versus Lynch. That's interesting. The only problem with that is we all know that's the match. Or at least it fucking better be. But yeah, it's the match. But they're having an Elimination Chamber match at Elimination Chamber to see who faces Becky Lynch. When we all know it's going to be Shayna Baszler. I guess I'm okay with it. I hate when it's that obvious. Like they've told us that's the match, basically. But yet we still have a big pay-per-view match that could damn well be the last match, the main event of Elimination Chamber. And we all know the winner already pretty clearly. But that's alright. Who cares? Elimination Chamber, again, who cares? Let's just have fun with it. Who cares? We're right here. We're this close to WrestleMania. Any pay-per-view before WrestleMania has to eat the effects of who gives a shit. You gotta eat that. You're literally just in between. You're in the way of WrestleMania. Then we had this, the luchador thing they've been doing for fucking what feels like 2 years. Rey Mysterio, Humberto versus Andrade and Angel Garza. Good match, I guess. Again, this was a decent tag, Raw style match. It was okay, but I'm kind of done with this. It's been so long. I feel like I've seen Mysterio and Andrade somehow connected for ages. For ages. Let's finish it somehow. Let's wrap this up. Let's go home. Let's go home. Good match, though. Mysterio and Carrillo win. Cool. Let's wrap it up, though. I'm not mad yet, but let's wrap it up. And that was the last match of the night before the Randy Orton, Beth Phoenix stuff, which was sweet. But let's talk about Eric fucking Rowan and his caged buddy of his that we've had to listen to him talk about, that we've had to watch him carry out and beat people up for and get bit by and whatever the fuck else for 6-7 months. All of that mystery, suspense, build. It's like maybe they're gonna give us a payoff. I don't know. Maybe Enzo Amore's popping out of there. I don't know. Luke Harper's head may be inside there. I don't fucking know. Something. Vince McMahon's eyeballs. I don't know. Something. Give me something. Give me a live snake. Jake the Snake style. Give me that. I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't have been mad. I would not have been mad at all. That'd be his gimmick. He's like the new Jake the Snake. The new, like, snake guy. I'd be fine. And give me a reason of why he shows the people he shows this animal to for the first time. That he's been hiding. Religiously hiding. Like, if anyone even tries to look at it, he's going to kill you. But no, they did none of that. No Way Jose and his group of goons danced their dumbasses around the hallway, bumped into him, singing their No Way Jose chant. This dancing cult. And Rowan just basically just shows it to them. There was no real reason, no rhyme, no, oh, it's because you guys are special in some way for some reason. No Way Jose's the one that it took to get Eric Rowan to show us what's in that cage. Just think about that. No Way Jose. That tells you that they didn't care anymore. The writers did not care. They're like, fuck all of this. Let's just wipe it clean. Just use No Way Jose's. Put them in there. They can all be scared of it and run off like cowards. That's the best we get. That's the best we got. And hopefully we never have to bring this up again. Not only that, but what it was when he brought it out was a animatronic toy giant tarantula. Are you kidding me? Is this... It's been months upon months. And again, my expectations weren't high for this. It's Eric Rowan. It's Rowan. Who cares? Who cares? I know they don't care. So I didn't expect it to be something great, something earth-shattering, or something that would propel him into, like, the main event picture. No. But you can't afford a snake. You can't just buy a snake. You can't do that. Or buy a real tarantula and have him just hold it and it just climb on him. Something. You have to use a goddamn child's toy, some big Halloween prop, and it was like moving like robotic shit. Yeah, all these wrestlers across the world whose dream is to join WWE. Now, I don't blame them. It's the biggest promotion in the world. But, damn it. Look at some of these people who have gotten here. Look at Eric Rowan. You're playing with a damn toy spider. That looked ridiculous. And you have to, like, play along like it's real. So bad. So bad. Then you got Aleister Black, who, for being built up for years, undefeated, knock on my door, loses for the first time in a feud that he's not even involved in. This is like a miniature feud. This is a Raw feud, and he lost. It's never good to lose your undefeated streak on a Raw feud. Yeah, they're going to finish you at Elimination Chamber, but who cares? You've already lost the streak. It's over. You lost. It's like, it reminds me of when Bo Dallas lost his 18 and Bo, 17 and Bo back in the day. He had momentum. People were buying his shirts. Bo Leave was everywhere. He was undefeated. Yeah, I know, beating clowns, but who cares? Then Kane, just on some random goddamn Raw, comes out, choke slams his ass, squash 1, 2, 3, and Bo's a jobber for the rest of his career. Undefeated to jobber in one Kane choke slam. Just because the writers said, no, we're done. We're done. We didn't know where we were going with it. He's getting too over. Kill him. Squash him now. And they did. That was it. Great. Thanks, everybody, for coming. And let's not talk about what happened to Ricochet today. Because what happened today, I think, was worse by far than what happened at Super Showdown with Brock Lesnar. Because Lesnar does this sometimes. Every now and then, he will squash someone that shouldn't get squashed. But we all can just kind of get pissed for about 5 minutes and then let it go because it's Brock Lesnar. He beat The Undertaker. He beat the streak. He demolished John Cena. He's beaten everybody. He might be the greatest of all time in terms of resume. So I can't get too mad when he squashes someone. But to lose to Rick Moss in any fashion, if you're Ricochet, is crazy. And then to do it on a Raw is crazier. And then to do it on Raw to Riddick Moss for the 24/7 joke green shit title is just egregious. Like, fuck. It doesn't get much lower. Riddick Moss has no momentum. The crowd didn't know who the fuck he was. Why just keep it on his boy, on the Gronk's friend? Like, what's his name? Mojo. Why didn't Mojo just... If it was Mojo, I wouldn't be near as mad. I would still be like, this sucks for Ricochet. But it wouldn't be as bad because Mojo actually was building momentum with the title. That was the only time the title even looked slightly realistic. Because he was taking on people. And he had Riddick behind him protecting him. It was like a nice thing. Boop, blew that up. Riddick beats him by some garbage roll-up. And now Riddick just beats the hell out of Ricochet. with a lame ass finisher, some weird neck breaker. Fuck out of here. Let me know down below what you guys thought of this show. I give this show a B-. Overall, not a bad show. Just some things pissed me off. I do give it a better grade because every segment kind of mattered. Something did happen in every step of the way. I give them credit for that. That's all I ask. I'll take bad booking over boring booking. There was some bad booking here, but none of it was truly like snooze fest. You know what I mean? Some people lost that shouldn't have lost. But it all was building to something. I'll take that. I'll sacrifice some segments on Raw for a great WrestleMania. I hope we get that this year. And if you are still here, you are a real one.